For just $99, I found a scalping kit that's actually making profits on a $200 account. And the best part, it doesn't use any of those dangerous martingale or grid strategies that often blow up accounts. Hey everybody, Marine here, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I will show you something very exciting, a trading robot that can work on a small account, stay with low drawdown, but also it can trade multiple currency pairs. And stay with me until the end of the video to learn how you can get my settings and set files. Before we move forward to the real account, let me tell you something. The majority of the people watching our videos are not yet subscribed to the channel. If you subscribe, you will help the channel grow and help us to find more great robots that you can trade on small account. So press that subscribe button, put a thumbs up if you like the video, and let's move forward to the real deal. So I'm on the home page of Algo Trading Space, and I'll just click on the Scalper EAs because the robot we are going to review today is a Scalper, and it's called Prime Scalper EA. So you can see information about this robot, and what I want to show you today, if I scroll down, is the live account that we are running with Icy Markets with this account. This is a $200 account, and it made $3.79 of a profit, which is not much, but for this size of account, this is almost 2%. And if I go to the track record, you can see here are the balance line. So the account started at the beginning of October, and for just a couple of weeks it made this 2% of a profit. And even it started on a loss at the beginning, but this is something which we can expect with every strategy. No matter at what time you trade it, winners and losses happen all the time. So what's impressive here for me is actually if I go to the stats, you can see the average monthly return with this space would be around 3.3% with 1.58 profit factor, and this is just for 20 trading days, as I said. Now let me switch to my VPS to show you the trading platform. So I'm here on the MetaTrader terminal of Icy Markets, the broker I used for this account because of their trading conditions, but I'll talk about that later in the video. If I go to the history, you can see the trading history, when the account started and the trades that happened after that. You can see we have a few losing trades at the beginning, but since then the EA is on an uptrend and it's profitable, and it made $4.51 of a profit, and then without the commissions we are left with 3.79, which as I said is almost 2% profit for less than 3 weeks period. What's interesting about this strategy is that it is a scalper strategy, and it actually holds positions for a very short period of time. You can see when this trade was opened and it closed 42 seconds later. Then the second trade, you can see when it opened and it closed 10 seconds later, and pretty much this is the same pattern that you will see down below the other trades. They are opening and closing in just a few seconds or rarely in a couple of minutes. This is a scalper EA, that's why the trading conditions are very important, and that's why I decided to trade this one with Icy Markets, because of their low spreads and fast execution. Let me show you now several backtests with this robot. Here's the backtest of the vendor, and what actually inspired me to test this robot was not the balance line, but the relatively low equity drawdown. 2.44% for this period, which is over 7-8 years of backtesting, and in their backtest they start with $5,000, and you can see what is the total net profit at the end of the backtest. Then I picked this EA with their settings and tried to backtest it on a small $200 account. So I played around with the settings, and finally I ended up with this backtest for the last 5 years. You can see the balance graph, you can see the count of trades. It's a very active strategy if traded with a broker with good trading conditions and traded on a VPS with low latency. So you can see the backtest for the last 5 years. It also showed very stable performance, and I like that one a lot. So what I decided to do after that is to place that one on a small $200 account. But before doing that, I actually placed the EA on a demo account, because this is what we usually do. Place the EAs on demo accounts, test them for several months, and once they make profit, we put them onto real account, and then we review them if they perform well on the real account as well. So let me show you now how the demo account looks. For this, I will switch again to FXBlue, and here's the demo account. This is a $100,000 demo account, big account, and you can see what is going on here. And the reason for this is that I decided to place all the robots from the same vendor in the same big account so I can test them properly. The robot we are reviewing today, Prime Scalper EA, is developed by me at Algo, but I will show you their website in a second. Let me first go through the track record. So if I go to the orders, you can see several orders opened at the moment, but they're with another robot. And if I go to the closed orders, you can see 10 pages of order history since the end of August, and you can see initially I started trading the Prime Scalper EA. This is the gold version, and this version here trades on other forex pairs, euro dollar, pound dollar, and I've been testing this EA for several months, and at some point I figured out that there's one asset which is the gold in this case, and one strategy which stands out from the rest, and I decided to give it a try on this small account. But how I figured out this? Here's the quick way. So with FXBlue, what I like a lot is that you can download the order history just like you're downloading it from the MetaTrader platform. before, and I'll download that one. I will import it into Google Sheets where I will do some analysis. Here's the order history, and usually when we import CSV file from FXBlue, we have this first row which we can safely delete. And now I will just press Ctrl+A on my Windows machine to highlight all the cells, and then I will click on Insert Pivot Table, and I will click on Create. This will create a pivot table in a new sheet, and this table will allow us to work with the robot. So let's put some filters first. I'll first put the type filter, and then I'll put the order comment. Then what we will do next, in the rows I will put the order comment again, and in the columns I will put the symbol, and finally for the values I will take a look at the net profit. Now let's filter the data. So for the type of orders we want to analyze only the closed orders. Then for the order comment, you can see we have plenty of EAs from this vendor. It's very likely that we are going to review some other EAs in the future. The strategy here seems very interesting and also made overall profit, and in some of the assets it is losing, but let's focus on Prime Scalper today and leave this one for another video. Now let's filter by order comment. So I can clean up this thing here, and I can just scroll down and select the Prime Scalper EA. So there are two versions, Cap Prime Scalper EA, which trades the Forex pairs, and Prime Scalper EA, which trades the gold. And you can see pretty easily I have filtered out all the data, and now I have the performance from Algo Prime Scalper, which trades the gold, and from the Forex EAs. So what we're going to focus today is the gold, because this is the EA which we have configured and back tested. So if I open here the results, you can see it trades with bigger lots because of the settings that it uses on this demo account. The account started at the end of August, and by the 13th of October, it already made $27,000 net profit, which on a $100,000 account is 27% profit. So this is a pretty solid performance, I have to say. Again, it trades with bigger lots, bigger risk here on the demo account, but it still stayed in a relatively low drawdown because this is a scalper and never goes that much on the floating loss. So this is the demo account, and this is the performance which made me think about this robot and how I can test it on a smaller account. Now let me go back to the ICE Markets terminal. So here's my real account, and let me show you the settings I've been using here. So by default, this thing here was set on what's based on X-bound, and this is how it was trading on the demo account. But what this means, if I select this setting, this means that for every 100 units of balance, I'll be trading 0.01 watts. So with my $200 account, this would mean 0.02 watts. I can adjust this, but what I decided to do instead, because this is also a small account, $200, I decided to directly trade with fixed watt size, and then the EA takes this value, which is 0.01 watt, which for gold on a small account is pretty fine. And then we have a variety of other settings here, the time configuration, when the EA trades, it has news filter, it has plenty of other settings. And if you want to access this set files and other set files from our accounts, guys, consider joining our VIP club. There is also a button about that on our YouTube channel, and if you click that and join the VIP club, you can access the set files from all the accounts that we trade at the moment. Okay, let me show you the vendor's website now, because there's something interesting there as well. So this robot, you can find it here in Algo website. I will put the link down below in the description. This is the Prime Scalper EA. You can see explanation of the strategy. You can see the trading requirements. Also, you can see the working currencies and timeframes with the default settings. And if you go to the tools and settings files, you can find the table with different configuration and set files. And this is actually how I found the settings that I used in the demo account. They have listed some drawdowns and some stuff, but this is with the broker there testing and trading. So it's always a better idea to backtest and actually to demo test with the broker where you're planning to be trading with. And if I go back to the robot page, you can see the recommendations here. Loss spreads recommended for $1 below 5 points. Also, we have some other recommendations. Latency of the VPS is very important because this is a scalper. And because of the staff requirements, I decided to trade this robot with ICE Markets, which is one of the brokers that we trade a lot in the academy. They have a variety of trading platforms. The raw spread account is perfect for this type of EA. Also, you can see the different platforms they offer, and they offer actually a VPS under certain conditions. Check it out this page as well to see if you can qualify for the free VPS. Now back to the Prime Scalper and Algo website. So this robot is developed by Algo, which is a developer with over 14 years of experience in algo trading and MetaTrader development. But not only MetaTrader, you'll see there are a lot of trade copiers here that they offer. And in the homepage of the website, what triggered me to take a look at them was this lifetime access deal, where you can get access to all of their products with lifetime access, with lifetime updates, and they guys have pretty much a lot of products. If I go to the all trading tools, you can see a variety of general trading robots, which we haven't tested yet all, but I'm about to test most of them. Also in the copy trading tools, there are some software that you might be interested to, especially if you're trading with prop firms. So the MetaTrader 5 to DX text trade copier, this copier to match trader, this to trade walker, and basically with this plan, which is the lifetime membership, you get access to all of these tools with lifetime updates. They have some interesting EAs. Actually, the zone recovery EAs is one of their best selling according to them, and I'm about to test that one as well. And here are the scalping robots, the prime scalper which we tested, the Asian scalper is one of the robots which I have tested also, and this is actually the robot which showed also good performance in the demo account when I showed you Google Sheet, so I'm about to test that one more extensively in the future. Now, like I usually do, I will list several pros and cons about this trading robot. So first, on the positive side, this relatively affordable expert advisor for just $99. It can trade several forex pairs, but also it can trade the gold. I'm about to test into more currency pairs. There are plenty of settings, so maybe we can find something more interesting as well. Also, it's not a grid or martingale system, which usually blow up accounts. This EA always uses stop loss. It can be trailing stop loss if the market is not favorable, and the EA must adjust the trades to not make bigger losses or just to cut the profits. Also, it has a built-in news filter, which allows it to avoid volatile trading periods. Now, on the negative side, I would say that the amount of customizations and options can be overwhelming for beginner traders. And even for experienced traders, it will take some time to test all the settings here, guys. But as I said earlier in this video, if you join our VIP group, you can access our set files and settings. As you see, we have done extensive testing and we are going to test more and more assets for this robot. So if you find a better combination, you can always download it from our VIP group. Now, the other negative thing that I would say that actually should be the number one negative thing is that DCA has very strict requirements when it comes to trading conditions. It really needs low spread and low latency with the VPS. That's why broker like Ice Markets would be very suitable for this type of robot. Because as you saw, it holds positions for just a couple of seconds, and if you don't have the fast execution time and all the lower spreads, this will cut off your profits. So guys, what do you think about DCA? Does it sound like it's something complex or something easy to set up? Will you consider testing it? Put your comments down below. I personally answered all of them. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye.